One of the best movies I've ever seen.
Damn.
It's incredible. It is so good. So we got a group of our friends together to be able to go see it. A few of my friends, it's based off of a book, and a few of my friends had read it. And so they were super excited about this movie coming out. A few of my friends read the book before, like, you know, they're like, oh, we're going to go see this movie because we bought them a few weeks in advance for the opening weekend. And so a few of my friends are very fast readers. A little faster than I am. I can't read. I'm a woman. I mean, come on.
I have a book up there. I started almost a year ago.
I used to read before I would fall asleep, and I don't know. I've gotten away from that habit. I need to redo it again. No time. You got to watch Office again.
I got to watch The Office.
You got to watch Office.
I got Office to be watching.
Please. So it's based off of a book, and I guess there's like, obviously, like as with any movie adaptation, or, you know, something starts in a book and then goes into film or series, like there's going to be modifications, obviously. Right. Everyone that had read the book, even though there was like, you know, modifications, I'm not going to say like any like spoilers or anything, they were still like in love with it. I have to tell you, well, before I get into, you will cry. You will cry in this movie. Oh man,
I don't want to be crying.
But it is like, it's a roller coaster because like at first you're like very sad and it's very scary. So basically what happens is Ryan Gosling's character, Grace, he wakes up in space, wakes up from a coma, an induced coma, wakes up on this spaceship in space, like has a tube in his throat that an alien, like that, not an alien, that a robot is like taking out, and is like saying like, hey, like don't freak out, like, you know, muscle movements aren't gonna be able to like like you gotta like blah blah. And he's like, where the fuck am I? Who am I? He is like amnesia because he's been in a coma. I think I can't remember if they say, I think it's like 5 years or something like that. And he like looks out and it's like just fucking space, and he's like, what the. And then he's like climbing through all this, and then he sees like 2 other dead bodies in there. Like, so they obviously didn't like survive like the coma. They were supposed to. And how it goes is it's like he's figuring all these things, and he's like starting to do all these equations or whatever, like trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And he's like, am I smart? Like what's happening? And so it's flashbacks of him like starting to like get his memory back a little bit of like why he's up there in the first place. And basically he was a biology, or like molecular biology scientist or something like that had like a really crazy theory that basically ostracized him from the science community. Like everyone's like, okay, this is way too crazy. Like you're not ever going to go anywhere. He's like a laughingstock because he like stood behind what he had to say. Right. And what happens is he's in the middle of like teaching this class, and this kid is like, what is the blah, blah, blah? Cause you see a newscast of, it's called, Jesus Christ. Now I'm fucking blanking on it, but whatever. There's this like signal that they're seeing like in between Venus and it's Sun, Mars, then Venus, right?
No.
Sun, Mars, then
no.
Sun, Mercury.
Yes.
Then Venus.
Yes. I think. Yes.
Whatever. Anyways, the second planet, Venus. Yeah. So there's like this thing, and they're like, holy, basically they figure out that this stuff is eating the sun. And they're like, life as we know it, within 30 years, the planet is going to cool 10 to 15 degrees, which means literally like collapse of life as we know it. Mm. And then beyond that, if you even make it 30 years, like, because everyone's like, there's not going to be like enough resources for people. It's going to be like fucking pandemonium. Right. Yeah. And so they're like going to all these different countries. Like everyone is like being like, yo, what the fuck? How do we stop this? And then they're finding out that all these other stars are also being eaten or already dead from like this stuff that they call astrophage. And so it's like back and forth of him remembering how the fuck he got up here and like why he's even up there. Like, you know, he was like, well, he remembers like, I was a school teacher. Like why the fucking like blah, blah. It is so good. The guy that I'm seeing, like he went with us and he's like, I didn't want to tell you before, but he's like, I hate like sci-fi. I hate like space movies. Like he's like, that was amazing. I want to go see that again. Wow. That's how good it was. Like he's like, man, Star Wars, like he's like doesn't watch stuff like Dune. Like, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't like, he's just not into that. And he was like, I want to go see that again. Let me tell you, I was crying over a rock alien.
Damn.
So if that has anything to say about it, Ryan Gosling is absolutely incredible.
Oh yeah.
The storyline,
any movie with Ryan Gosling.
Yes.
I'll watch that shit.
And it's not even just like, obviously there's a lot of very smart things that are being talked about and stuff like that. And there's a lot of things I highly recommend, first of all, seeing in theaters just for the visual aspect, but also too, so you're actually paying attention to like what the fuck is going on. So you understand. Mm-hmm. It's not like super like complicated that you're going to be like, oh, what the fuck, like law. You might be lost a little bit, but also too, like it just pulls at your heartstrings. It's so funny. Like it is. And it's not like corny funny where you're like just being like, okay, it's like forced comedy. Like Ryan Gosling is just incredible. And I was trying to find the behind the scenes of like what he's talking to. So he ends up like calling this like character Rocky, like, you know what I mean? The one, then they end up like working together to be able to like try to save their planets from this like astrophage. Like, so like that's like really like the main premise of it with all these flashbacks that are happening and like just trying to like figure out what the fuck is going on. How do they save literally life on their planets? So it's pretty incredible. I cried quite a bit. So did other people in there, and you have to see it in theater.
I'll see it in theater.
Please let me know. Yeah, please let me know when you do see it, because I literally have told so many people to go. If, you know what? You're welcome to whatever studio this is, because I'm telling everybody, like,
who made this movie?
You need to go watch this, and you need to give me 10% of the things. No, but it's absolutely incredible. And two, like, I mean, it really hits home as well, because like, there's like so many different things. Like, you know, you're seeing that like,
oh, this is made by Philip Lord and Chris Miller.
Who's that? I don't know who that is.
They made, I think their biggest one they're probably known for was the Lego movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was like their first thing that kind of, and then they made, they produced the Spider-Verse movies.
Okay.
The Miles Morales Spider-Verse movies. Yeah, and those are top tier.
Yes, incredible. So
yeah.
Yes, you guys all need to, if you haven't already, because I know this is coming out a little bit after, if you can, if you're able, please see it in theater if you're able to. Obviously, you got to wait till streaming. That's fine. I totally understand. But you got to watch it.